INFOPLUS for genuine information.
मलेसियाले सन् 2014लाई पर्यटकीय गन्तव्यको रूपमा मलेसियालाई अझै बढी चिनाउने हिसाबले भिजिट मलेसिया 2014 आयोजना गरेको छ। दर्शकबिन, खास गरी यो वर्षमा पर्यटनको कुरा मात्रै नभइकन खास गरी मलेसिया अध्ययन गर्न चाहने विद्यार्थीहरूका लागि समेत उत्कृष्ट अवसरहरू प्राप्त हुने सम्भावना रहेको छ र यो सम्भावनाको बारेमा मलेसियन दूतावासले कार्यक्रम इन्फोप्लसलाई संक्षिप्त कुराकानी मार्फत जानकारी दिएको छ।
INFOPLUS.
First of all, you are welcome to my television show.
Thank you, Shyam.
Especially as our show is related to career, education, lifestyle and tourism, how you join in this diplomatic sector as a career?
Well, thank you, Shyam, for the question. I think it's a brief introduction about myself, I think. I am already close in the foreign service of Malaysia about 14 years now. I'm a graduate in international relations. Since I was 17 or 18 years old, I really wanted to become a diplomat, a Malaysian diplomat. So upon my graduation in 1998, I applied for the service, and here I am for the last 14 years, and no regrets and enjoying it.
What was the reason, which attracted you to go into the diplomatic sector?
Okay. Well, it may sound cliche, but at the end of the day, yes, I want to serve my country and contribute to my country. And the idea of meeting new people, strangers, being connected with people all around the world internationally, it is something that been sparked my mind since my school living examination, if I may, and I was 17 years old. So at that time, through my counselor teacher, who happened to be my rugby coach as well. So I asked him, what is this course, international relation? They said, okay, this one you can fly over the world and you become a diplomat representing the country. I said, okay, that's it. And then I put on my application form to get my scholarship loan at that time. Said, okay, international relation. So thank God, and the public service department who actually render and process the application get me interviewed, and I follow through and successfully.
We receive lots of queries from the youth, especially.
Yeah.
They have lots of dilemmas where to go and what will be the best career for their life. So can you advise them, how can they choose the career?
Well, Shyam, it's a very interesting question, I must say, that I would like to share that I remember when I was young, as a teenager, we have a lot of choice,
Exactly.
a lot of pressure, or if I mean in Nepali, a lot of cinta.
Exactly.
And cinta in Malay word is love.
Okay.
By the way. So it's a lot of cinta, a lot of pressure from family, especially from your parents, from your teachers, from your friends and peers. What you want to be after school, and which sector you want to go. So I must say, in my own experience, is that from reading the newspaper, watching the TVs and get inspired by people quotation, and reading the books and say, okay, how to become him, how to become her. And I used to love to read from my teenagers' day newspapers, what's going on in the world and so on. So I always thought of that, how as a Malaysian, as a person, I can contribute. Well, again, cliche, to contribute to the world peace and harmony and living together and so on. Call me an idealist, but from that, who actually derived me to become a diplomat, a Malaysian diplomat. Yeah.
So what is the attraction of being like diplomats? What should be the criteria for the people,
I used to be in the human resource department before I came to Nepal and take up this assignment. So among other things, I used to interview newcomers or inspired teenagers who want to join the service. So among the criteria, if I may, in my own experience, obviously you must love to talk with people. That's one of the skill,
Okay.
the communication skill that you must have. It's no point to have a very quiet or silent diplomat, meaning not very talkative, but it will be a added bonus point for inspiring diplomat to become. Secondly, of course, you have to have the knowledge. Classic enough, knowledge is power. Without knowledge, you can't actually speak of something.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you don't have the credit to it. And the third thing, it is your self-interest as well. Because sometimes you're being forced to, and sometimes you can fall in love with it
Exactly.
if you're being forced. But at the end of the day, it's somewhere deep in your heart, in your mind, you know, okay, this is me, and this is who I want to be. And if you previously half-hearted to it, so now take on the challenge, full glass, and okay, let's go and be a diplomat. That's in my own experience.
In brief, how do you evaluate your 14 years time in this sector?
It is very colorful, and if I may put it in 2 words, it's interestingly challenging. It is not, that you think is going to be easy. Just sit in the couch, writing something, analyze something, meeting people, go to reception and so on. It's more beyond that. Especially in analyzing things, in commenting and advising your headquarters, your country, your ministries, your politician, your decision maker back home, and so on and so on. So it's been, I have no other word than interestingly challenging. It's been tough, of course, sometimes there's a lot of sacrifice you have to do, especially for your children, for example, who have to join you, and your spouse also have to join you in this nomadic international lifestyle. You've been around 3 or 4 years in one place, for example. There's so many stories shared by my seniors. They are saying that it's not easy stuff. Sometimes their children waking up. Where are we? Because 3 years or 4 years you've been here, and 3 years and 4 years you've been there. So that kind of thing. So this is the kind of sacrifice that you have to blend together with the perks and privileges. I have to say, as a diplomat, you enjoy certain perks and privileges to do your job, to do your tasks, and to communicate and to interact with your fellow colleague in your host country. So 2 words, interestingly challenging.
So, evaluating again your 14 years time, do you have best memory of your career, so that which really makes you happy that what I did?
Thank you, Sham. Of course, among the most colorful one is meeting and rubbing shoulders with the dignitaries of the host country, or even my own VVIPs, politician, prime ministers, king, or the royal and so on. But beyond that, and other than that, I have to say the most satisfying and always keep me motivated to serve my country and to contribute to my nation more is when you have a fellow Malaysian. For example, when I was in Abu Dhabi, we have a fellow Malaysian who was stranded, or without he have some negotiation in business, for example. So we advise him, okay, it's not the end of the day and so on. You can do this and that, and we try to channel him into his new ventures in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, for example. As you know, in 2008, there's a lot of commotion and happening in Dubai, for example. And especially since the last 2.5 years, almost, in Kathmandu, similar thing happened. The number of tourists from Malaysia coming to Nepal is increasing. So meaning there's a lot of consular issues happening in the embassy as well. We need to assist fellow Malaysian. So there's nothing more satisfying than helping fellow Malaysian who are stranded, lost their money, for example, or sometimes lost their hope, to what to do here. And then suddenly they call us. We advise them, okay, can we meet you at your place, or you can come to the embassy and we assist you. And nothing more satisfying than to know that, okay, we solved the issue, we help him or her to give him the new hope of life, saying that this is not end of the day. The Malaysian embassy is here, the Malaysian government is here, and here are the Malaysian diplomat helping you. So that is one of the most, until now, I still remember and cherish for my next 15 or 14 years in service.
Okay, so every coin has 2 parts. So Would you mind to share your bitter part as well? It was the best part,
Well,
that you have achieved.
I have to say that, well, the bitter part of this, I must say, just like before we start this interview, I had my father pass away while I was not there in Malaysia. So that's one of the sacrifice again, and the toughest part for now since the last 14 years. It is hard to being away from the family when they are sick and so on, and
Exactly.
at the same time you have to be at your post or at your work and so on. But at the end of the day, well, c'est la vie. The living have to continue living, and our prayers to those to the family members and relatives and friends who pass away and so on. So that was actually one of the toughest part of maybe being a diplomat.
How you want to go to further in your career in the days to come?
Well, for any diplomat, and I think most of the time the maturity of your designation of your task is to become a full-fledged ambassador, a head of mission in any of the embassies or your mission of your country. So I've been here for the last 2.5 years. My career been counted at least almost 14 years. So true enough, probably within this 5 years time, my next ambition is to become the Malaysian ambassador somewhere in 107 mission that we have all over the world. That's one of the immediate and short-term goals that I have. And the long-term goal, obviously, again, I have to say, I'm inspired again to contribute and to serve and to continue helping and assisting fellow Malaysian, and of course the people from the host country where I'm located and serve.
Okay, now let me draw your attention regarding education sector in Malaysia. We see, the crowd of the people here in embassy, especially to go for the employment visa.
Yes,
however, Malaysia has developed a lot, especially for the quality education as well, which has not been too explored here in Nepal. So what is the reason behind this?
Well, just like in any other countries, for example, especially the developing countries, people who are going abroad to study, for example, if I may, 10 or 20 years ago in Malaysia, Malaysian students also used to look at the countries, developed countries, for example, the Europe, US, the Australia, for example. So which is still going on. So in Nepal as well, being a new developing countries as well, naturally as well, they will look into these countries, this region. So Malaysia, since the last, I have said, 10 years, 1 decade, they are trying to promote the country as the center of excellent education as well. Because Malaysia, if I may, is, we are about to graduate from the status of developing countries to become emerging economies, and hopefully to become industrialized and developed countries by 2020. So we learn the experience. We know the nature, the experience of other developing countries. So that's why we start opening up. So of course, the promotion has been going on, but it's not in a full force, if I may, in Nepal per se. But thank God, for the last 3 years, the numbers of Nepali students, Nepali citizens who are going to Malaysia to enroll and study in various private higher learning institution in Malaysia is promising. It's been 200 to 300 every year.
Okay.
So even one of my staff actually graduate from Malaysia. So the interest is there. Of course, the promotion need to supplement the interest as well. So that's what for the last 5 years we have actually tried to bring in more universities and colleges from Malaysia to promote themselves, particularly in Nepal.
Okay.
So it's even promising, but we do hope it will pick up more than 200 and 300 every year.
You are sharing your information many times through our TV show as well regarding the beauty and strength of Malaysian education. Would you mind to remind to them, why should they go to Malaysia for further education?
Thank you, Sham. Well, from someone, every time I met a fellow Nepali or any one who are living in Nepal, in Kathmandu especially, I tell them that, well, in Nepal, definitely people go for the tourist scheme for the tallest thing in the world, the Everest, 8848, undeniable. And a Malaysian who came to Nepal, for the Buddhists, they will go to Lumbini. For the Hindus, they will go to the Muktinath and Mount Kailash and so on. So there's so many reasons. So I always promote that please come to Malaysia, especially when you are in Nepal or from Nepal, because to enjoy, like we see on the background, we have the oceans. We also have other colorful events. We have a lot of other reasons that probably people want to experience. And true enough, in conjunction, I'm sure, Sham, you already know that 2014 has been announced by our Prime Minister, by our government, that is again the Visit Malaysia year. We have it in 2007, so now it's revisited, and it's already been launched on the new year. That 2014, there's a lot of event, programs and attraction, endless, if I may, been promoted and been announced to lure people, to lure tourists to come to Malaysia. So for those who are in Nepal or from Nepal, I hope the number will be increasing. True enough, the large part or the large portion of our daily activities is issuing visas, especially for the employment.
Exactly.
But then again, for the last 1 or 2 years, if I may, since Malaysia Airlines and AirAsia have started operating Kuala Lumpur and Kathmandu, Malaysia Airlines now is twice daily. AirAsia now is 5 times a week. And of course, Nepal Airlines has been running Kathmandu, Kuala Lumpur, still continue about 4 or 5 times a week. So there's a number of opportunity, number of seats and passengers that we're willing to accept. So the social visa also, tourist visa also have been increasing for the last 1 year. So we hope with this Visit Malaysia year, there's more and more tourists to visit Malaysia, especially from Nepal, and taking advantage of the, I'm sure there will be a lot of enticing and interesting packages to go to Malaysia. So we hope to see more tourists from Nepal to visit Malaysia, especially in 2014, if not beyond.
Currently, we have 65% literacy rate here, and we are supposed to be like a 100% literacy, literate country by the year of 2017. This has been the slogan of Nepal government. So, on behalf of embassy, to make our Nepal, educate by the year of 2017, how a country like Malaysia can work with Nepalese government to achieve the goal?
Well, we again, if I may come back to the education topic just now, one of the reason and one of the emphasis why Malaysia should be one of the destination preferred is because the cost and the affordability of it, and at the end of the day, it doesn't jeopardize or did not take away the accreditation of it. So it's affordable, at the same time it's accredited internationally. So Malaysia always offer, and for the last 2 years I'm trying to promote a lot of packages on education sector. For example, we have the Skill Malaysia that is inviting people who are going to Malaysia for technical and vocational subject, for example, other than the usual, the standard accounting, business, management, tourism, and so on. So these packages have been offered also to Nepali students and the Nepali citizen to come to Malaysia to study. And this is one of the way, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, that we want to share how our experience as a developing countries with other developing nations, because we experienced that when we were developing ourselves before. Malaysia did not become Malaysia today in one night. Like people say, Rome was not built in a day or in a night. So Malaysia also came a long way in 1960s and 70s after our independence and so on. We worked hard to it. And of course, true enough, Shah, that we mentioned just now, I mentioned just now, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
So in order for you to read newspaper, to read the magazine, the journals, and everything. You need to read, to be literate. So it's an ongoing process, and I must applaud the government of Nepal for emphasizing that. I'm sure the result of it will. The target is that, the strategies is that, the implementation is ongoing now. So Malaysian government, through the education system, to the education sector, we are promoting this to help this. And of course, Malaysian Embassy here, we are trying to also to lure more cooperation in terms of education with Nepal government. Hopefully soon we will have more collaboration. I'm sure there's a lot of other countries from all over the world who are stationed here already have promoting and helping, assisting Nepali government and Nepali people. So we hope as well, we Malaysian also to extend further their cooperation and assistance in this sector.
Okay. Thank you so much for your valuable time and information.
Thank you, Jam. It's my pleasure as well. And again, Happy New Year to you too. And we're looking forward for the prosperous year.
Thank you so much.
INFOPLUS,